Before I start this video, I just want to give a quick warning. Viewer discretion is advised. This story has left me tossing and turning in my bed for the last couple of weeks. I haven't been able to get a good night's rest since I've heard about this. But in all seriousness, as we know, Gear 5th came out recently. It was very controversial. A lot of mixed opinions on it. Nevertheless, I wanted to cover this particular article that I actually saw before Gear 5th came out, but I never really felt like covering it on the channel because at the time where it came out, I was still making horror games. I wasn't really talking about One Piece. But I really feel the need to talk about this right now because this is tragic. One Piece spoilers posted an Attack on Titan fan created 300 accounts just to rate the Gear 5th episode 1 out of 10. Shame on these people. And then here it says, rivalry between fandoms is not new and often things turn pretty ugly quick here. Wait, what? Is this English? And often things turn ugly pretty quick here. There have been many instances of rival fans review bombing a series to bring down its overall score on my anime list, which I've never heard of, but on my anime list and IMDb. One Piece is a major victim of this phenomena. Now, I'm gonna be real. Calling One Piece a major victim is the biggest understatement I have ever heard. One Piece is not just a major victim. One Piece is the main victim of this. I've seen other shows being review bombed, but not like One Piece. And I actually remember like an hour or two after I watched the Gear 5th episode, I went to the IMDb ratings and it had like 310 1-star reviews. I didn't think much of it. I was like, maybe the guy did it, maybe it's a different person. But later on I saw online the countries that gave Gear 5th the most 1-star reviews is India and Saudi Arabia. And when I went to the guy's Twitter account who made the 300 fake accounts, his name was Muhammad. That's an Arab name, okay? That's an Arab name if I've ever seen one. Or a Muslim name in general. So it leads me to believe that he played a major role in this. But I'm not gonna lie. His 1-star reviews doesn't really change the experience of the episode. It's not like if he gave it a 10-star review, the episode would have been any better. I'm gonna be real though. I'm not gonna act like I'm some unbreakable force. I don't know, just seeing people downvote it low-key hurt. Like, I don't know, it low-key bothered me because I sat there and I was like, yo, really imagine this. This guy had to make 300 Gmails, then go onto IMDb and make 300 IMDb accounts. Then individually log into each of these accounts, search up One Piece, look for the new episode, and go and give it a 1-star rating. This guy probably gave the 1-star rating before he even watched the episode. Now, granted, I don't think the episode was a 10 out of 10. I think the episode where it was completely Gear 5th was a 10 out of 10. And I believe that the Gear 5th sequence in... Bro, there's a hair on my nose. And I believe that the Gear 5th sequence in that episode was also a 10 out of 10. But the thing that kind of ruined it for me was the little Orochi scene. Like, it was just kind of frustrating seeing Luffy go Gear 5th and then getting a full 5-minute scene of this little reptilian being burnt alive. Now, I'm gonna be completely real. When I saw it in the manga, I was so excited for it to be animated. Like, I actually liked the way that Hiyori stood up for her dad and her dad's legacy. But I just don't appreciate that it came in the middle of Gear 5th. They either should have gone off the manga and done it before Luffy got knocked out by Kaido, like an episode or two before, because, you know, the conclusion of that fight doesn't affect anything else in the story, so when it happens doesn't actually matter. Or they should have just not adapted it. They should have never put it in the middle of the Gear 5th episode. That was easily the dumbest executive decision by both Toei and Oda himself. Now, as I said, when you look at the manga, it's like 2 pages. So it's like nobody would really care. They could just skip through it. They could just read it really quickly and keep going. But when you're in the anime and it's a full 5 minutes of the episode, you're not skipping that, right? So I'll admit the actual animation and the Gear 5th intro and everything, that was a 10 out of 10. But I wouldn't give the episode a 10 out of 10 simply because why put the Orochi scene in the middle of it? That was just dumb. Oh, and I also wanted to say there's a lot of conflict online on people who loved Gear 5th and hated it. Oda himself Oda himself allegedly said this. I've never even heard this guy's voice before, so this could be complete cap, but I think I've gotten this from reliable sources. But either in an SBS or in an interview, Oda himself said that he knows Gear 5th is going to be controversial and that there's going to be a lot of mixed opinions on it. But he goes, true One Piece fans will appreciate and love Gear 5th. And that is what happened, right? I don't blame the people who didn't like it. If it's not for them, it's not for them. It's very different from the normal shonen main character cliche, right? He didn't have a moment of rage and unlock a new power up and it was all dramatic and whatever. It was nothing like that. There was no real, is this the right word? There was no real climax to it. I don't know if that's the right word. So yeah, if it wasn't for you, then it wasn't for you. I don't think you're, like people say, oh, you're brain dead, you can't appreciate good writing. If you didn't like it, man, I understand. Like I've seen some One Piece fans saying that they're still trying to get into Gear 5th. Me personally, I've rewatched the Gear 5th episode maybe 20 times now. Is it a serious problem? Yes, I should probably do something better with my life. But honestly, man, I loved it. Like right now, my PC wallpaper is giant Luffy. I got Luffy behind me. I got a Luffy action figure in my room. I loved it. I love Gear 5th. I loved everything about Gear 5th. And honestly, I think the anime adapted it better than the manga. And this is the most controversial thing ever. The only thing that the manga did better was giant Luffy. And that wasn't even close. The anime didn't do it as good. But the sequences when he was in Kaido's stomach, even when he got hit with Kaido's Thunder Bagua and his head kind of like formed into it. Is that the word? You know how his head went like, or wait. I think the anime did it so much better. In the manga, it looked kind of weird because it's just one still image. But when it's actually in a sequence, it looks a lot better. Jump Rope Kaido was amazing. The little Sonic the Hedgehog scene, which wasn't even in the manga, that was amazing. The episode was so goated. Everything was so goated. I loved it so much. Yeah, I want to sit here and say that like, oh, I'm so disappointed. I'm not even surprised, man. This is the most normal anime fan to exist. This is the sanest anime fan, sanest Attack on Titan fan to walk this earth. And honestly, like my friend asked me if it annoyed me. If he created 10 accounts, it might have annoyed me. But 300? I had to respect it. This is world-class hating. I have to respect the effort. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk on. New video in a couple of days. Bye-bye.